Rex Aantonnny. Yep. Rama KB. Rex Aantonnny. ASHWIN RAGAV. Okay, thanks for staying here with us. I think I have not properly introduced myself earlier. So, myself, Raviteja. I'm a senior product manager at Shell, working on data actually, and then emerging digital technologies. So, my day out is mostly on the machine learning, data vision, data science, where we bring in almost 1.2 petabytes of data and use the data to do more of Power BI reporting and then visualization. So give insights to the business users on how to use this data effectively. Let me introduce the panel as well. We have Rama KB, an aspiring computer scientist with 16 years of experience, passionate about leading teams, developing innovative data solutions for consumers, insights, and customer management. She is mainly into AI/ML, and then let's deep into what her experience is about. Then moving on, Rex Aantonnny, CEO of Rex Cyber Solutions, a cybersecurity visionary on a mission to create a safer digital environment for all. A member of the Internet Society and a computer forensic analyst at HANS Anti-Hacking Anticipation Society. Right. Thanks, Rex. And we have ASHWIN RAGAV, also CEO of Speclar, founder of Astra Cybersec, and CTO of Enthusiast, a cybersecurity researcher, an ethical hacker, and a blockchain enthusiast. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for coming here. So we are going to talk about the future of autonomy, right? Maybe drones, XR, etc. And then we'll dig deep into what these technologies are rapidly changing our environment. And we see, like we saw drones earlier, and then I think we're also going to do some demo as well. I recently saw one Prime Video series, I think, upload where autonomous vehicles take place, and then the guy, everyone uses autonomous vehicles. He gets into a crash using that autonomous vehicle. He gets uploaded and then downloaded. Uploaded means his memories will be uploaded into a computer science, and then he uses a clone to download, etc. I think fascinating to see all these technologies shaping up, and then the ideas we're getting from these different YouTube or these series, right? So with that, we have a diverse panel here coming from AI/ML, cybersecurity, blockchain, etc. Without I'd like to start with Rama. As you're coming from AI/ML background, how do you see these AI/ML technologies transforming the landscape of autonomy in the near future?
We have a variety. We have a very big range. Okay. What I have come across from the last 5-6 years is a drastic change, and we have a long range of use cases. We have built a couple of use cases as well, but when we address to the students or learning curve increases, the autonomy is really big. Having said that, when we take a particular instance or a use case, we have to be a little vigilant about how are we handling that situation. Is it usable, or is it really harming the society? We have to be a little vigilant about it. Later on, the technology is at your doorstep. You can use it, play and plug, whatever. I think you can have your own thoughts about it.
Right. Thanks, Rama. Rex, as you're coming from cybersecurity background, what latest advancements in cybersecurity do you see that are particularly relevant for autonomous technologies, like drones, XR, or any other emerging technologies?
So thanks for having me here. So adding to cybersecurity forensics is our goal. So I want to add into that.
Yeah.
So the advancement which is happening is very predominantly in the policy making, which is happening.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people know India is the one of the country which is came very earlier to bring policies for AI. Right? So we have drones policies in place, which is have a very big enforcements happening. Okay. And moreover, in terms of autonomous area, the testings for the security concerns and also for privacy concerns is have a very good checklist, I would say. So because the government also very much concerned which is happening, and also we have a DPDPA. So, which is the Data Protection Act of India, which is a Digital Personal Data Protection Act. Okay, which is talking about all your data. See, previously we don't have any rights on our data. I could say digitally we don't have, which is similarly that if some of the company which the data you have given with your consent also, if they used for some other thing, you don't have nothing to do about it. You can file a case if we can fight it, but we don't have any grounds to take it to the next level. But after this law, it is enacted, it is live now. So the basic start with that fining. So when AI is already in it and trying to adapt AI into the lawmaking, and also they are bringing more effectiveness. So in terms of security concepts, right? So data is directly connected to the security nowadays, and what kind of uploads which is happening, it need to be audited, it need to be verified instantaneously, not anymore periodically. So that is the one thing which is randomly happening, and very effectively government also monitoring into that. And now we have a digital act which is giving more strength to this area, where the company is also going to be more liable to it. Because the fines are 100 crores, 250 crores in that base. Right? And the interesting fact, most of the people will ask me when I say this, 100 crore, my company is making 50 crore. It makes no sense to me. Yeah. So they have a very beautiful addressing there. It will be go on your 30% of your revenue. Yeah. So the things are that it's not only that in terms of advancements, in terms of legally protection also happening to us, which gives all the enterprises and other key players to focus more on the security enhancements.
Right.
So that is happening here.
Yeah, thanks, Rex. So now that you talked about security acts, etc., EU, so how are these security risks associated, like what major security risks we can identify and then detect, especially for autonomous technologies?
First of all, if you would like to look at the security perspective, the threats that the autonomous vehicles have, I would like to share you one case study which happened in 2020. When Tesla was testing out their autonomous vehicles in US, they encountered a specific type of attack called as adversarial attack.
Right.
The adversarial attack is basically, it's not much complex. One subtle change in the data that is being processed to the autonomous vehicle. If there is that one small change, automatically that would disrupt the entire workflow. I would like to give you an example. What actually happened in that scenario is, there was the speed limit mentioned at the traffic signal perspective, the board as 35 miles per hour. But just because of some irregularities, this autonomous vehicle, Tesla's car, actually identified it as 85 miles per hour. So in return, what actually happened is this boosted the acceleration, and this actually caused an accident. So the thing is, each and every data that is being sent and received between the autonomous vehicle and the real-time environment is also a serious concern. So that is another serious factor. Having autonomous vehicles in India is also risky, because our roads are not that good as the roads in USA. And another thing that I would like to also say is about AI poisoning, which we had discussed earlier. So AI poisoning is basically when you teach the LLM model or the AI model to be precisely biased. So what happens is this creates a lot of problems. If biased information is spread all across the LLM models, this would create even political disasters, even wars. So we have to train the model and we have to bring some regulations where the model should be unbiased.
Yeah, exactly. Audience, if you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt and you can ask the question. So, when the security challenges are discussed, what other biggest challenges do you see in deploying these AI ML into autonomous technologies?
Our systems, our infrastructure is not so advanced compared to other countries and all. We are slowly picking up. But having said that, there are a few challenges. Those infrastructures that are not available in the remote areas. First thing is that not all students are available with the same infrastructure as Scala students have. Okay, there are other colleges, other universities do not have a curriculum which has supporting infrastructure. So we can say they are biased.
Yeah.
But yeah, people who want to learn and adapt and survive, they will pick up some of the other ways to explore and excel. Okay.
Right.
When you have given proper conditions, or healthy conditions, or absolute conditions, then you will survive. Okay. But you have to navigate the extreme conditions and come back. And this infrastructure is so challenging. When you go on a footpath and you walk, when you take an image or when you take a video from your phone should be telling you that there is a pit hole or there is a wire, an electric wire which is hanging out. You have to be a little vigilant about it.
Right.
So these are the few use cases we have worked through. Having an app built on WhatsApp. Okay, it is called Walkability and Mobility for one of those Bangalore NGOs we have.
Yeah.
So we can look up for the use cases and probably we can find out a solution. But not everybody has the thirst or a hunger to do that. But when the things are idle, you can survive. When the things are not idle, you have to learn how to survive.
Yep.
So these are the use cases when you say anatomy of this, anatomy of that. That's not just a study. It's experience what you're going through day in and day out.
Exactly. Yeah. When it comes to ethical considerations, so what should be considered deploying these security or cybersecurity measures, Rex?
See, okay, so the term ethical itself has some conflicts.
Yeah.
Okay. So particularly when coming to the AI, okay, so we have to understand how it is evolving. Okay, as we seen that in the presentation also, how it is came across, right? If you try to snip it with our human evolution, okay, so how our brain have made this evolution here. So let's take that if something is happening, how I am responding to one action may not be the same way for my peer.
Yes.
Right? So how it is happening, how my adrenaline pumping is happening, and for an example that there is a smaller part in our brain which is called amygdala, right? Which is playing a role as a filter that whatever comes in, it will first analyze and then try to find out, am I having a similar experience to this, and then it push it to your brain cortex.
Yep.
So that you can make reasoning and then it will do whatever it is. So this filtering is still we are lacking in.
Yeah.
Okay, so that need to be bring in that where the regulations is going to be that filter, because this biased thing which we are talking in, that need to be addressed, and also the racism and other things which we are already faced. Why we are uploading the left and writing, asking for a left and writing photo and it is showing the right hand, because the data sets are little biased.
Yes.
And also the data sets what we are using currently, no one has a clue on what context these data set has been given.
Yep.
Okay, and in terms of security perspective, so now I'm coming to that. When I say security, what is security? Right. So when I'm using any LLM, okay, which I'm asking something, which in a textual manner and it's giving me output, where I have to look for security here.
Yes.
Okay. So first thing is, what are the questions can be asked? Are who allowed to use this? And second, what can be given in this? What level of access we will have it? That need to be brought up. And moreover, in terms of accessible, you have to be very much careful about, because we are in the social media evolution. Now we are in the AI evolution.
Yeah.
So social media, when you are giving to the even minor age old people where they don't have that much awareness of using it getting into a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
So now AI is itself not even in the minor, it's just a baby nowadays. So it is having enormous knowledge what we have today.
Yeah.
And now we are giving a gun to its hand. So it is moving in that path. So what is happening is we need to bring out a better way of analyzing into that and a structuring framework where to put a pass,
Yeah.
or how we can have a control into that. That need to be brought down in a better way.
Exactly.
That has to go with this.
Yeah, that's a brief one. Thanks, Rex. So earlier, I think someone was asking about user data, privacy, etc. So how can we protect this user data, ensure privacy is met at all the areas in the context of autonomous technologies or gene-based technologies?
Okay. The thing is, for any LLM, we cannot make an LLM by not feeding the data, by restrict the data that no, you shouldn't have data. That is not at all possible. In order to enhance a model, obviously we need to give the data.
Yeah.
But instead, what we could do is, there is something, like one specific unique feature of our Google keyboard. How many of you use Google keyboard? The one specific unique feature of Google keyboard is, like when you type some text, it will actually learn according to your suggestions only from your decentralized devices. Like your data stays in your device, only your preferences will be shared. So by adopting this way of decentralized data transmission, by this data, the LLM can actually learn, but not by actually using your data. It can actually understand how your preferences, not about the exact data that you give. Also, another thing I would like to specifically mention is, there is one way of encryption called as homomorphic encryption. Basically, I'll give you in a layman term. There is a lock, and you have that data inside the lock. So the LLM would learn inside the lock itself without exposing the data outside.
Right.
And this is one of the good methods of encryption that we could use in autonomous solutions, autonomous vehicles. Also, there is another thing. I'm just still specifically unclear about that, but the thing is, data is there. iOS devices, specifically for Apple. The thing is, Siri and the thing of applications, the Apple Intelligence. The unique feature of that Apple Intelligence is, it reads data, but it will not actually understand who is sending data. For example, there is something called as noise addition, which means if they actually collect the data. Okay, for example, if this emoji is trending or this data is actually used multiple times, this preference, what happens is Apple actually gets the preference, not the data. So by this means, they actually train the model with the preferences. This also looks similar to that of Google, but it is quite different. So they actually use the preference, also train the model, but without taking the user's data. So by adopting these kind of measures, we could enhance the data privacy in autonomous vehicles.
Yeah. Great insights. Any questions from audience?
So when you talk about autonomous vehicles, the most amount of data which autonomous vehicle will take would be analog, right? So when you talk about cybersecurity and this in terms of that aspects, what is the need of user data inside an autonomous vehicle? Because we will be using analog data. So why do we need all these infringements and centralized block systems in an autonomous vehicle?
The thing is simple. Any device, any data, if we cannot say this data is not important, this data is not important. Every data is, information is wealth. The thing is, in automated vehicles or autonomous vehicles, what happens is you will have your preferences, which means this AI model, if it is working, since it's autonomous, it will know what are the locations that you frequently visit. It will also know the places that you stop. It also knows where you stop, where you go. It literally has your routine. What happens if this data is being exposed and this has some threat effects also? If there is a data breach on this AI LLM, assume there is a hacker, okay? If the hacker attacks this LLM and your data is breached, so obviously he knows where you go, where you come, where you stop. So this is also makes us vulnerable, right? At certain aspects.
It makes us vulnerable, right? But then the way you suggested that we can use the preferences in that instead of using data, we can implement that inside the vehicle. We don't need to actually train the LLM model based on the whatever whatever I'm using the autonomous vehicle around, right? So at the end of the day, we don't need that much cybersecurity. We can only use like the Google system as decentralized way of using the autonomy inside the vehicle instead of just connecting it to a hive and then using the data to train other LLMs.
The thing is, even if we are using decentralized systems, we also need to enhance security of it. Even, there is one specific domain which is emerging called as blockchain forensics. And also penetration testing could also be done on blockchain. Decentralized applications. They are right now on Web3, you could do a penetration test. Penetration test is basically you find vulnerabilities on some specific web applications. And even these nodes and these computers in Web3 are not safe. So even if we implement blockchain-based systems and decentralized systems over these autonomous vehicles, we also need security for that also.
I just want to add more to that. See, because why we need these all data? What is the purpose for that? So because we have an intelligence already in place. We have enough data sets which is there to feed us what can happen next. But why we need this data on instantaneous mode, also try to collect these to understand the situational awareness. Okay, if I need to take a left, I need to know if there any object is there or not. I already have a map with me, I have a car with me, I can route the car to go straight and take a left. But I have no clue what are the things in between that. Right? If there is any pathol is there any working is happening, if someone is sitting there, I have no idea. Right? Because these are, end of the day, these are machines and systems and a code. Okay? It's not human. The human factor is required. Some of the elements of human is that the prime element also I could say that the situational awareness and situational intelligence. Okay, so everybody have IQ. Now the EQ is much more important now compared to IQ because that is the area we do everything, right? IQ now, if you look at an Indian index in the countrywide, IQ is emerged like anything, but we are lacking EQ now. Previously we were good at EQ, which is emotional quotient. Now we are stepping down into that, which is raising concern that where we are driving this country. When come to AI concerns and security concerns, okay, these data are built up in a way that how emotionally it can connect it. Okay, if a car is there, it is an emotional point to me, right? So if those, I know everything about the data, let's take a sensor in it. Why we need a sensor? The pressure sensor is there. If the pressure is not there, if you have a car that you know that most of the times it won't start. It will block it. The pressure is not good, it won't start. Okay, but I'm in a damn emergency. If the car is not allowing me to start, it's a biggest problem for me. So if I manipulate those data, because of the standards you have in the car, I can put you stuck in somewhere. And even you are climbing a hill, okay, you are in the mid area, and now the car has been locked. What do you do? Right? We can't do anything about it, right? So how you can address these areas? We need more data.
So at the end of the day, the future we see for autonomous vehicle is far, because even if I implement for general use, implementing it for critical use like rescue and all, it's something we will see from far away, right? So till the time that autonomy comes, we can develop some other system, right? So what's your thought on that?
Can you repeat your question?
My question is that you had told me all the like that this something autonomous vehicle is something in a distant future, right? Because we need to implement all these securities, all these centralized systems to analyze all the surroundings and all. So it's something we'll see for general use earlier, but for critical use later. So I wanted to get your thoughts on what can we do till that autonomy comes. What can we do before that, like something devices for early use before the autonomy comes.
So autonomous is not a new thing in the world, right? We have been implementing in multiple places. For an example, now the mic is there. Previously we do have a wire, and now we have a wireless connections which is happening. And also now we have a mics which can rotate to me, which can talk, which have a smaller actions embedded into it. So the area which we are going to use is going to be going to the next levels. Like in the autonomous cars, okay. Previously you have a cruise control, right? Which is an autonomous activity, right? It will increase, it will downgrade, and it can do it. And then we are adding one by one. Now it is in the way that you just have to tell your location. It can take you there, right? So in this area, what are the advancement which is coming in? It will also create a new challenges for us. Okay, previously you don't have a car and you bought a car. If you bought a car, you should know that either you have to drive the car or you have to have a driver to drive the car, right? And the same way now you have an autonomous car, which have a challenge that we have to tell where to go. That's it. Now how it will take you there? Is this entire infra is ready for that? And second, if the infra is ready, is everyone else is ready for that? And third, if my data is have the capability to take me there. These are the aspects, because it will go one by one, you have to go layer by layer and take it out. In between that, let's come to the technology aspects that if I'm transmitting such data, okay, which is also reading by other people, which is, if I have a data listener, which I'm able to listen the data, I can manipulate it. That is a very basic reason you should adopt security there. Okay, I tell you there is a case study that using the Bluetooth, okay, which is you have normally in your car, which using the Bluetooth it has been hacked. So how it is connecting to your EMV chip, okay, so which is connecting to all your decision making of the cars, like is my tire pressure is okay, is my fuel, is those things are a crucial information which is added into your system. There are some activities can be run locally and there are some activities will be connected to the centralized commanding center, I could say. Okay, so these areas need to be channelized perfectly, all the channels to be secure, and also the sensors to EMV chip, the data transmission also need to be secure.
Yeah.
Right. So that those are the areas it is evolving, and regulatory frameworks also stepped in already. People, it is maturing every day. Okay. If you ask me that how we go from here to there, this is how one by one you have to move it. We will go from today I'm having a problem, what kind of a data set I'm having is a concern. That is a challenge. Right? So now I have to look at, okay, now I have a very good computation, I have a very good architectures. Okay, now I'm seeing that in a better reasoning, how can I achieve that? So that's the next challenge we have to moving ahead. Okay, let's get out the better data sets. That's how we way forward.
Thank you, sir.
I would also like to add another point which we were saying about the rescue stuff, right? The thing is, AI is good at understanding our emotions, but at certain critical levels, it cannot be good at decision making. So I'll give an example. Just assume that autonomous vehicles are implemented in our area, even in Bangalore. What happens is, if the speed limit is 40, suddenly you got some heart attack or some severe medical conditions. How will that, you have to break the limit. Yeah, surely you have to break the limit to save your life. So at that time, what does that autonomous vehicle do? Will it break it? There are certain conditions where human emotions and logic will actually break the set. By implementing this law will obviously take a lot of time. This advancement that is needed, the level of advancement that is needed to even help us in these severe situations, it takes a long journey. only when we progressively adapt the model day by day, it would create that level of significance. We cannot directly achieve the direct autonomous model. We can build a product and it is like human evolution. Day by day it improves by itself, and again the final version it comes.
Thank you, thank you.
What I think is the control, it should be handled by the humans. End of the day, it will be on your hand. So like how you, even though you have autonomous car, you have to start it.
Hello, sir. So we were talking about decentralization of data over here. So I would just like to put a question on blockchains, that it was once booming as the future of decentralized trust. But then people got skeptic about its reliability, and now it has crashed. So is it just a dip, or is the blockchain hype over?
It's not like the blockchain hype is over. See, blockchain is a really good technology. It enhances, credibility and decentralization at maximum level. Privacy is one of the biggest, privilege that we get from blockchain. The thing is, the adaptability that matters. Even it's that good technology, but implementing that technology in a real-time scenarios, it's a tedious process. Once, people were using cash, but when UPI came, few set of people actually, hesitated. They hesitated to use UPI just because of this privacy concerns and risk issues. Same thing happens for blockchain and cryptocurrency. If you look at Indian government, if you look at other countries, they look cryptocurrency, which is which works at blockchain, as a mode of currency. If you look at US, they also accept the mode of payment as cryptos. But in India, people, government consider this as an asset. There is like solid 30% VDI tax on cryptocurrencies. That is also another concern we have to adopt. Even though the government has taken initiatives, if you look at the e-rupee, which Indian government was about to launch, they launched it. But still, people adapting the technology also matters, right? Even though I have a good car, I don't know how to drive. Will that work for me? Okay. That is what happens in blockchain.
Alright.
Hello. So you have mentioned that we have moved from social media to AI, and there is one more emerging technology like quantum. So how security has been evolved and where it is going, and as we are also saying, like there is OpenAI, they will run on desktop and they will do their own work. So how security infrastructure is evolving with the AI, and as in 5-6 years, 10 years, quantum will come. So what will be the landscape of the security?
So quantum is already, so don't worry, it will take another 5, already there. And you know what, in India, already governments are ordering quantum computing, and they're having their facilities. Okay. So the concern is, you're asked about that, how the security has evolved, right? So we were using no passwords, and then we used passwords, and then it became OTP, two-factor, and then OTP became even it's not that much effective, which we felt. So we went to MFA, which is multi-factor. We have passkeys. So what it is saying is, first understand what is security. Security is not going to give you something that it's not breakable. First understand, it's very clear. Whatever in digital, it is not safe. That's clear. Just be very clear. Whatever is in digital form, it is not in the safe. Very clear. So what we can do is, the complexity of accessing it and restricting it can be increased. That is where the security comes in. When I give a password, it will be one barrier for you to access it. If I add a OTP to that, even if someone know my password, they need OTP. Now I have a MFA, so they need to get authenticator or other channels, or they have to have a hardware key to access it. That's a complexity increase. And then password numbers. So I just want to ask you, so what is the best or the effective password letter, count? How many words? Sorry?
Minimum 12. 16.
Minimum 12. 8 is dead 1 year ago. So minimum 12. And now it is moving. Quantum, if someone have access to quantum, whatever the encryption we have now, it's invalid. So the government, everybody is now working on moving into the higher, different encryption models, right? Whatever we have RSA, everything is literally shaken now. Okay, that is moving in that direction. So quantum will opening a different challenge for us. Okay, so whether we can go for what level of encryptions, because now our computation level is moving on. If you take a Moore's law, okay, we are sitting in the 16th. What is in the chessboard they call it, right? In the column, we are moving to the next. How the changes will happen is, previously you see the changes every decade once, but in this space you will see the changes in every year. What is the technology which is available in the previous era, which is 10 years before once, we will see an extraordinary revolution will come on, but you will see it. This year something will come up and the end of the year it will be outdated. Because the competition power is increased like anything, and then capability of infrastructure also increasing. So which will, you can see the revolutions happening very accelerated way. So it will go with that.
I would also like to add another point. Last month, Google launched their own quantum computer called as Wiggle, right? So what this Wiggle did is, there is a complex mathematical problem, which was like, nobody could solve for like 50, 60 years. But what Wiggle did is, it literally solved that complex problem within 5 minutes. So what question comes in security perspective here is, what if quantum computers break the most secure cryptic or cryptographic hashes? What will happen? That is also another threat, right? So in that perspective, if this computation, as Rex said, if this computation level is increasing, we also have to increase the level of encryption, the standards of encryption, to make it still more complex for a quantum computer to break it. Same thing applies for blockchain also. Blockchain also works as hashes, right? Yeah, there is also a risk for this one. So we have to work on multiple enhancements in this encryption standards also.
Quantum computers is there ever since IBM has taken over. Okay, we have learned those chess games were being played on quantum computers. So this was there ever since, but they have been enhancements on the latest quantum computers where everybody is now using it. Earlier only IBM used to use it, but others have just heard about it in the news, right?
It will be more adaptable in next 5 to 7 years. Like every person will be
Not
having-
5 to 7 years.
It
It
can.
can happen in 5 to 7 months.
Yeah. So now if everyone has their with them quantum computer, I think then it will be a security issue for the day-to-day security technology that we are using.
No, I could challenge your question because see, you have CCTV cameras, okay? They will only monitor your actions. They will not take your actions. Okay? They'll give you, but your actions have to be monitored by yourself. So there is a difference between you having a CCTV camera monitoring on your phone and you having a conscious effort to monitor your actions. So there is a difference. So quantum computers can contribute, cannot act.
Yeah, one more thing. As we are moving towards AI and we are giving data, so generally its own company what they do is, and there are so many like the OpenAI, multiple well-known software are there, but they are emerging one. They are very small, and we are just giving them data, and that's on them what they do with data. And so, how do you think the security aspect will, like we download them and give them all the, like they can code on our own computer, they can modify the files, and they have everything, like they can access our computer end to end, like how we operate. So how security infrastructure will grow and help and protect the privacy, or say that this work has been done by let's say this ticket is being booked by agent, this ticket is being booked by the person, real person.
See, so distinguishing between whether it's a bot or it's a human, right? That was the previous challenge. Now it's going to be whether it's a AI agent or me. So the reasoning is that what kind of efforts will come in. It can be predictable, okay? Because the parameters which we are going to evaluate. For an example, if there is an attack is happening, for an example, I'm getting a lakhs of requests which is happening, I know that it's going to be a bot. Okay, it's an assumption which we are predicting, and then we are making decision out of it. When it's come to in the level of agents, okay, so there is a human factor elements will be added into that. That's the biggest challenge which is happening now, because I have no clue whether I'm talking to a person or an AI agent. Okay, so you might be wonder that 6 or 7 months before there is a guy, I'm not which country he is, he built a agent, okay, which can chat like him, right? You asked how open source can leverage, right? So you download the model, you have it, you can build top of it, right? So it has potential in it. So now you are giving your inputs, which is a reasonable way on with your own data sets, and you are asking it to react as your data what you are given with the efficiency of whatever it is been trained. So now what happens? What he did, he built a chat agent, okay, which can chat to in the social media and find a perfect partner for him. So you got more than 100 people have been booked in a day. So that became a viral on that. So try to understand that how you can know that whether it's a human or a chatbot. You have no clue nowadays. You can't do that. Okay. Now we don't have a solution for that, but it is the human factors or human elements in terms of textual context has been increased in the AI efficiency. Now that challenge has been working on in everywhere. That's the biggest challenge we are facing nowadays. It is on the evolution that we are working on.
I would also like to add another point. So one of my colleague, what he actually did is rather hiring, for a sales team, cold callers, there are people who used to do the outreaches via phones. Rather employing them in a mass number, what he actually worked is he created an AI cold calling agent. So basically, what this agent does is he trained that agent in a way that you can literally communicate with the model in real time. And 99.9% of the people, 99.9% of the people who he made the calls never guessed or never predicted that AI is talking to them. And even I've got a call from him as in order to test its efficiency. And I could even, if I know that it is AI, I could actually find it out. But still, if I'm a new person, automatically I can't find whether a real person is talking and an AI is talking. So what risk factor does this give is, voice can be easily cloned. We've seen a lot of reels or stuff where Modi ji is singing. We see a lot of things like that, right? Anybody's voice, according to their pitch and band levels, could be replicated. So what if, one person trains a model to understand the exact behavior, the words that the person speaks, the nature of voice. Every single thing is recorded, and an AI is trained, and if that AI is used it for malicious purposes. For example, Rex is my friend. Say, if I'm also I'm getting a call from Rex exactly how he speaks to me, what would I do? I'll eventually believe it and I'll proceed on further, right? Through this way, many crimes and many stuffs will happen.
I have another example. We have interactive interview session in Speclar, right? That is in Anshuman's voice. Like, what if he has his own unlock key on his phone in his voice? Anybody can break into his phone, right? So whatever mock interviews we are giving online these days on the platform, all are questioned by Anshuman's voice. It is replicated, right?
And also, I want to tell you that the deep fake, how it is evolved, right? So deep voice is there, deep fake is there. I tell you that currently there are scams happening that with using the video calls, right? So you won't believe that there is a company who lost $25 million for that. So they have to make a transaction. You know what happened? They came in a call. Okay, I dropped you a message and talked to you, and then you are the main person who have to transfer. Think about it. 25 million he has to transfer. Then think about what kind of a checks and balances they will be having. And if the company need to transfer such amount, what are the approvals has to be there? It could be in the board level. If I need to transfer immediately, entire board people has to approve for that, right? What happened? He got a call, he got a mail for that, and then he thought it could be a phishing, so he just literally thinking of that, and then he got a call. Hey man, I'm the one who is sending this with the same voice, and he's get a call, and he's little skeptical. Okay, whether it's a genuine mail or I got a call now, what should I do? And then he's asking for a video call, and set up a video call, and he's talking with you. And you won't believe that he's not alone talking, he's with his 3 of his colleagues. Okay, so now he believed and transferred the money. So the fake calls going to be group calls also. So get ready for this. Is already happened, but it is highly skeptical, but it is already happened. People are losing money to that. The only thing is what you need to understand is tomorrow you are seeing someone online over the video, it doesn't mean it's a person. Right? Even the known person. That's a scary now. If I know him and he comes in the call and I'm talking that, now I have to make sure that is that the guy, I'm really the guy or agent. I have to be very careful about it. So be aware of those things as well.
Since we were talking about the quantum thing, I wanted to add the Microsoft's new chip. Did you look at the Merowan? You can see Merowan 1. And for him, I wanted to say so we can look more into it. Then, since we are talking about the future computers, there is one computer coming. It is called as photonic computers. Basically, they're using light and electronics to make a chip, and in that you can use different colors for different tasks at one time, and you can compute at light speed. And I don't think there is anything faster than light. So these two things. Now I'll get into what my original thing was. I was looking to discuss more into the FOSS things. See, I am a FOSS contributor. I use free and open source things for everything I do. Mostly, I try. The operating system I use it is Linux, and the web browser I use it is also open source. I use Firefox for it, everything. So how we are using open source things in AI? See, when one of my friends over here, he asked you about the open source DeepSeek model, and you said it is open source for a reason. But I don't think the security is the reason for it being open source. I think when you are hosting it locally, you can have it more secured. Like it is more secured when you have it locally. So I was hoping to discuss more on top of it. First, let's just go ahead. I have many questions. Thank you.
We are very happy on that. So when you say that, rightly said, you are using multiple open sources, right? And you are downloading it and keeping it in your server, and you are not connecting to internet, there is no problem. Once you connect it to internet again, what happens to that model? Is it disconnected? Yeah.
See, I use Rama and LMS Store for DeepSeek as well. And I looked at my own thing. I opened what are the requests my system is making to the network. And over there, when I'm downloading the let's say DeepSeek, then only I am making request. But let's say I'm writing a prompt and sending the prompt in it. It is not making any request to the network at all. So when you said something like about this right now, I was just thinking about that. When I am using, I don't see it connecting to any network or sending my data to anywhere. Then how can you say it is not secure?
See, I'm not saying it's not secure.
Yes.
So the concern is what I'm trying to say here is, if you download and keep that set, then it's an outdated one. It's not an updated one. You have to update your library. Okay? So in one way or another way, you have to connect it to their network and the library. This is one area. If it is to one individual company, whether it's a DeepSeek or OpenAI, whomever it is, it's a Llama or whatever it is. So you download it, if you keep it locally and you are not updating it, whatever exists in it, it is going to be stay there. Okay? And whatever it is remains the same. Right? Now come to the open source model. Okay? So everyone can contribute. Anyone can contribute. anytime it can update. Like for an example, whatever the models, like today I am making, I thought one parameter I am updating, tomorrow he is updating and you are updating, there will be a general update will be happening and every models will be pushed in. Okay, so who audited this? For an example, I wanted to purposefully add some model of code for injection, okay, which I can inject your device or anything, which is openly available, that there is a area in security that open source security auditing.
Yeah.
Okay, what it does, whenever I build a product, if I use any open source models, we will do the separate security assessment on that to understand and make sure is there any vulnerabilities are there. Why? Because open source are rapidly updating itself, because everybody contributing in that, nobody knows what is the changes happened there. We are seeing only the outputs, right? Not on the code base. So that is why we said open source is one of the great way to improvise things. At the same time, it is the great way opening the cyber attacks as well, because you don't know what is happening. When it's in a controlled environment, for an example, one enterprise is doing things in the sense, it will be in a controlled environment. So because this company knows exactly what's in it. That is the reason whenever enterprises are restricting this accessing to these kind of applications, they will allow you to use it on their network itself. They will have the model inside, the way you download it in your system, the same way they will have the engine. And they will run it in that closed network. So that I can make sure there is nothing moved out of my organization.
See, I want to add a point on top of it. When you are saying everyone is contributing to it, like everyone can update something on it, that also means that everyone is looking for bugs, and I don't think everyone is bad. Let's say not everyone is looking at the bugs and thinking, okay, I can exploit these bugs in this manner. Rather than this, someone might say, okay, I will fix this bug, or someone might have pushed wrong code to create a vulnerability. Someone might say, okay, let's not do it. I can point it out. So we can have a community for it. Like there is a community for it. When I use my Arc Linux, there is an open community for it. People are looking at the code every single day. They are looking at the things that people are doing, like all the PR requests and all that. Community is there. So this is also the aspect of it.
See, that is what the community meant for. Okay, so to build it, to make sure when there are set of people in the community, they will look for the security aspects. People will look for it, what the enhancement will go. That is how it works. Okay, it is a people's intention to come and see, okay, tomorrow I am coming in and joining the community and I want to build something into that. I will uploading something. Who stops me? Right? It's not saying that the community's intention to get out your data or hacking something. No, I'm not saying that. There are threat actors are there. They are doing it.
But you can't just, let's say, you can't just trust a company, let's say OpenAI. You can't really trust them with your data, like sending your data to them. You can't really trust it. So I am saying...
Nobody trusted.
Yeah, nobody trusted. I know, but you are using their APIs and you are using their hosted servers and all that for your company. And what I am trying to say is we should promote more of the open source thing, like people should host more of their own servers. Let's say there is a medium to large business or something, they should host. I know it is a big investment at first, but after that, for the hardware thing, it is a big investment. But after that, it becomes much more better, security-wise.
See, what you're saying is absolutely correct. Open source is well appreciated. It has been appreciated. That is why we have these much communities here. But business won't work in that way. Right? End of the day, I have to make money. That's why I'm running a company. I'm not here to do charity. Right? In that case, you have to look at it, the bandwidth, where it is going. Okay, you have Linux, you have Airbus, you have other OSs are there, you have Microsoft, you have Google. What is happening? Everybody can use Linux?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
See, people are a little bit misinformed. They look at Linux and they think it is too complicated. That is what I have seen at the very least.
See, that is what, it's a nature, it's my, I can say in a better way that, what is my expectation in it? Okay, so I can make a ping command to connect to a website, or I can open a browser to connect to a website. Right? So, how do I do that? Whether I have to open a Chrome browser or Edge browser or a Brave, or I have to go to my terminal.
Yeah, we can use anything.
We can do anything, right? But the open source allowing everything is free, as you said, right? DARPA, consider internet, right? It is came as a military project and given to the community, use it for a better good, and what happened next? Right. See, you can't control how people make use of it. It's just like that you are manufacturing a knife. It can be a kitchen knife, it can be a butcher knife. Right. So end of the day, how people going to make use of it? That's where ultimately, ever you take anything, it will be end up in that. Who is using that? It will end up there only.
That can be said for both things, like the closed source and the open source. Definitely. I think my perspective was basically on the first thing, because over here I saw that people were misinformed how the open source things works and all that. This is why I wanted to have a concern on this. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, interesting perspective actually. So I have a couple of things. I think we are already 1:30. People will ask lunch and Speclar cannot provide that. So, so to avoid security, right, like or fall into the victims of deep fake, etc. Try to avoid posting more of your pictures. Try to avoid posting your audio, video, images, videos, so that you don't fall. And then you also mentioned about 8-letter password, 12-letter password. The first thing I'm going to do after this is increase the password length, because I'm at 11-12 range. So let me increase that. Yeah, great perspectives. Any last minute thoughts? Maybe what do you see as the future for autonomous technologies or cybersecurity issues, etc.?
So my final perspective is, at the end of the day, technology is going to evolve. No matter what, no matter we encourage it or discourage it, technology is going to evolve it. And it's going to go at its peak. Different technologies, different pathways could enter. But the thing is, are those perspectives safe and secure? Even security aspect comes into action in all the possible channels that opens up. So it's not others' responsibility to take care of our data. It's our responsibility, and we should have the awareness to make sure that we are not into any sort of threats. So at the final endpoint, it's us. We should have the awareness.
Exactly.
Only then we could save ourselves from these kind of threats.
So rightly said, always I used to do that, and I always used to do with a lot of people as well. So the awareness is key always, right? You have to know what you're dealing with and what you're providing is always matters. And I'm looking at as my lost perspective here, how it is going to be next. Okay, so as a country, if you look at, our country is well prepared for this. So we already drafted and enacted the law, which is there is a lot of opportunities for the upcoming days. You can see next 2 years in India, you can see that in the budgeting itself, they will show that how much revenue they have made through that.
Yeah.
They will bring it in. Data is going to be the highest stake in India. All the businesses as individual, you're going to see that. So these enhancements which is happening in AI, it's going to be make it very tremendously high stake. And this is a great opportunity for everyone here for even the enterprises are now trying to do something in this area. So being in Scalar, you guys can make a greater exploration in this area. It will open up a great gate here.
What I feel is you are so opportunities filled with time. So we have to make use of those all opportunities. So better make use of it. Don't misuse it.
Exactly. I just wanted to add one point to what Rex said, right? Like enterprises are now focusing towards AI Gen AI, our organization as well. Whatever projects we have started last year, it's all BAU, business as usual, and then this year onwards, it's all AI Gen AI. Focus. Yeah. Great. Thanks so much for giving an interactive and engaging panel discussion. I don't want to ask any other question because we're already late. Thanks again, Rama, Rex, Ashwin. Quick quickly, I'll just show you a couple of slides, and I'll also ask Abhinandan to come over. So these are our Future GPT co-founders. The team we started, you can see there, Nikhil, Nayan, myself, Pranjali. And as I said, we have started Pune, Mumbai, and these are our chapter leads. Hyderabad, we did one session, Prasad, and Chennai is currently going on. These are our chapter leads. Our roadmap, I already talked about it, so I don't want to spend time there. And Abhinandan, sorry. Yeah.
So hi everyone, I am Abhinandan Khurana and I am head of community at Volcon and I am currently working as an AppSec engineer. So we have a community, we have started Volcon in 2020 and this has been an annual cybersecurity conference in India. Last year we did it in Bangalore, in IISc Bangalore. So this time again we are doing it in Bangalore itself, same venue on 14 and 15 June. And I'm here to announce that we are partnering with Future GPT. It's an amazing community. So thank you so much for the Future GPT leads to be our community partner and looking forward to contributing the community. Thank you everyone.
Yeah, thanks Abhinandan. Please do register if you want to join the sessions on 14-15 June. So we continue to do these partnerships with different venues, right, and different organizations to promote, encourage new talent or startups. These are other initiatives we have, and if you would like to connect us on LinkedIn, please scan the page. Yeah, sorry, I'm just running through because we're already 30 minutes late and I don't want to keep you sitting here. If you have any other questions, I think we can go back to cafeteria and then do some snack and networking. Yeah, and Scalable also want to do some goodies to panelists. So I would like to welcome Rama, Rex, ASHWIN again back to the desk. Sorry, the stage. Yeah, please. Speaker.
Hi, guys. Drone guy, where is that drone guy? Drone.
Yeah.
Where is Joe? What is Joe?
Please be here, Sanjeev. Nisha, please come.
फ्रेम नहीं आ रहा था
Yeah,